Hi guys, I'm Andrea, the Fearless Love Coach, and this is
Honest Steve.
Honest Steve.
Steve, hello.
So I show single women how to love without fear, and we've got Honest Steve today because he represents to me the honest guy next door who's going to give you, the single woman, the honest truth. Now I know you've probably watched lots of videos, read lots of relationship books, and there's lots of gurus out there, but I want to know how the guy next door thinks. So we've got two questions today, and the first one is, how do you know if he likes you more than a friend?
How do you know if he likes you more than a friend?
How do you know? So let's start off with a scenario. Let's call her Diane. Now, Diane has been friends with this guy for around 6 months, and they've known each other for years, but now they seem... Notice my language there. Seem to be getting closer together. They spend a lot of time talking on the phone, often very late at night, 1 o'clock, sometimes 2 o'clock in the morning. The conversations are about love and connection and having children and finding the one, and the law of attraction, all about romance.
Hey.
He sends videos and about love,
right?
Really talking about really heartfelt, deep things, and her heart just is exploding with love for this guy now.
All right, so he's really feeding this, isn't he? With this,
I mean, they both are.
Yeah.
And so now Diane is asking, well, does he like me more than a friend? Let me just give you some more information that they've hung out a few times together. They've gone to the movies together, and he was the perfect gentleman, paid for everything, picked her up, took her there. Didn't come inside her house though when she said, would you like to come in?
So she invited him in and he didn't go?
Yeah, and he didn't go in. Okay. And so there's been other occasions where they've been hanging out together. So nothing more than that has ever happened, other than these really heartfelt, beautiful conversations. Her friends, her female friends, are saying, he must be into you. He must be wanting more, because they're saying, why would he be hanging out with you if he didn't want anything more? Why would he be having these intense conversations about love and romance and meeting the one if he didn't want anything more?
It's a fair question.
Yeah. So my honest answer to her straight away was, you're just a friend. You are nothing more than just a friend. But she absolutely did not want to listen to me. Why? Because of her feelings. Her feelings were so intense for him. To her, she felt like he was the one because of how she felt. Which makes sense, right?
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
to a degree.
It does, because obviously this thing's been, there's a fair gestation period here, isn't it?
Mm.
This has been going on for a few months, and would you really spend a couple of hours in the wee hours of the morning or the late at night talking about life and love if you didn't think or expect or want it to build?
Mm.
But personally, I don't get this.
Go on, tell me why.
I don't get it, because I don't know how you would contain your feelings, let alone have the question asked, how do we know that it's more than friends? I'm amazed that she doesn't know already through an action or something. Something should have happened.
Because that's where she was getting confused, because
something hasn't.
They went, well, because nothing has, but they've been out.
Yeah, I don't get that.
What kind of people were saying was a date. It was like a movie date.
I don't get it.
Paid for everything. He picked her up, drove her there, but he didn't come inside the house.
Yeah, if it's not already been said, if it wasn't already established, I mean, you obviously can go to the movies with just a friend, but this isn't like that, is it? This has been building from the start with all this deep and meaningful, and now she's had to raise the question as to how do you know?
Yeah. So how do you know?
But surely something should have happened. I agree with you. Yeah. I think they are friends. I've no idea why all this other stuff's gone on. But I think after this period, after this period of time, it's unusual that it isn't clear that they are more than friends.
Yeah.
And that it's got the legs to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Because if it was me in that scenario, I don't think I'd be able to. I'd feel compelled to say or do something.
Did you hear that word, compelled?
I would.
This is what I show single women, and men too, doesn't really matter, is that when you're feeling that compulsion,
You've got to act
you
on
act
it.
on it. You
Yeah,
act
yeah.
on it. And I always say, a man, if he's really into you, he's going to let you know
Yeah.
in actions and in words. They both have got to go together.
Everything, body language, actual language, you know.
Not just body language.
And I said actual language as well. I'm talking
Actual
about what he
language,
says and
yeah.
how he acts around you. I just don't think you'd be able to contain yourself.
Yeah.
Not for 6 months, no way. You can keep your lid on it for a while, but if you really start to feel something for this person, no chance. You would feel compelled.
Yeah.
I honestly think you find it difficult not to say or do something.
Yeah.
And he got the invitation to go in, this guy, as
And
well.
he didn't go
Hello?
in. And he didn't go in. You know, like,
Ding, ling, 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 ling. There's an alarm bell ringing. I don't know. That doesn't work for me. I think.
I mean, I don't know why, but...
Yeah, but it doesn't
mean-
make sense, does it? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense if he was that into her.
Exactly.
And
It was more than
and
friends.
if the invitation was there and he said no,
Yeah, exactly. Because it's obviously that. I'm assuming that the invitation to go in wasn't after one phone call, wasn't after one date at the movies. It's been building up. At
6 months.
And
6
then
months.
she's invited him in, and he still didn't go in.
Yeah.
Come on. Red flag.
Red flag, perfect red flags. I mean, and I know it is difficult if you're hanging around with someone and you're genuinely, hi Julie, hi, nice that you've joined
Evening.
me. You gonna join us for a drink? If you haven't noticed, we're outside. It's actually still sunny in Manchester, in the UK, believe it or not. A miracle. Miracle has happened
There
in
is
Manchester.
one day a year. One day.
So we're enjoying it.
Yeah.
And I've completely lost my train of thought. But I know, when you have all those intense feelings, it's difficult. It is
Yeah, of course it is.
difficult.
Yeah, yeah.
But this is why you have to have the talk.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a big deal.
No, it doesn't,
It doesn't have
really.
to
But
be a
if
big
he
deal.
hasn't got the balls to approach it, which is unusual, and I feel like I say, I think he would feel compelled if
Yeah.
he felt the same way. But if he's not prepared to do it, she's going to have to just
She
approach
has
it.
to.
She's got to. Otherwise, this is just going to go on and on and
Yeah.
on. And this would go on and on and on in other people's scenarios, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
This wondering and talking to my friends about it, and all this second guessing. Just ask him.
Just find out. Listen, if you're a single woman who's in this type of scenario where you think, are we just more than friends? And maybe you've actually gone further, as in you're having a sexual relationship and you're still confused.
Yeah.
The only way to find out is to find out.
It's
It's the most obvious way.
It is,
It's
really.
not talking to your girlfriends. It's not talking to your colleagues at work. It's not talking to your family or writing in your journal.
Yeah.
No, this is about getting real.
Yeah.
And the way that you get real is have a real, honest conversation with him.
Yeah, you've given him enough opportunity to
With
say
him.
something, and if he
Yeah.
won't take the initiative, you're going to have to.
Yeah. One thing never to do, I mean, this is what I find lots of women do. They say, where's this relationship going? I don't say to ask, where's this relationship going? You say how you feel. You own up. I know it's scary, but you own up to him.
Yeah.
I don't care how long you've been friends, because if you want something else, a conversation needs to happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
It
Someone's
has
got to break the
happen.
ice on
Someone's
this.
got to have that conversation.
Absolutely.
And if you're the woman who's struggling in this situation, then it's up to you, because we're talking about your heart here. And the sooner you know, whatever the truth is, the sooner that you can either move on if you need to, or you actually get into a real relationship.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, for good or for bad, wouldn't you want to know?
But you don't want to know because you think it might not be the
Yeah,
case.
it might not be, but surely once you find out, it's better than dithering and having 500 conversations with your mates about what it might be. Just get on with it.
Get on with it, he said.
What have you got? I mean, I personally would want to get on with it. You know,
Yeah.
it's not like I'm saying the guy should just sit back and keep stringing this thing along and it's down to the woman. I think the guy should be getting on with it first. But if he's, for whatever reason, doesn't or won't, then she's going to have to do it.
Yeah, for your own sake.
For your own sake.
For your own sake.
Wouldn't you? I would want to.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd want to know.
Yeah.
You're driving bloody crazy.
No,
to be
well,
honest.
it does drive you nuts, and that's the problem. That because your heart's involved, emotionally, you're going to be bonding with this guy, and if you're bonding emotionally with this guy because you feel that he possibly could be the one, that it's love, you're cutting out every other guy, and this can go. I've seen this go on for some women for years. I
Wow.
mean, literally for years. And if you're a woman who wants to start, a family,
Oh.
you cannot afford to have this happen for years. I mean, I had a woman who spoke to me, and she was almost 50, in the same situation, and it was absolutely devastating, really heartbreaking, because her heart was broken.
Right. What a waste of time as well.
Yeah, she wanted to have children, and she allowed the situation to go on and on and on, and now she's at the point where she can't have children.
Wow.
I really don't want that to be you. I do not want that to be you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm very surprised. I'm even more surprised at that. I know that's a done deal, but just to finish off on that point, you've just said, for me, I'm very surprised that somebody that had the body clock ticking like that allowed that to go on for that long.
It does, and it happens too many times.
Wow, that's
too
just
many
shocking.
times. And this is why it's really important for the woman to take care of herself, and for her to have honest conversations, to really share how she really feels and what she's actually looking for, and find out. I mean, a very simple way would be to say, you know, just basically share how you really feel. And if this guy keeps on asking you out, and it's all a bit kind of fuzzy, it's all grey area, a simple way to get out of this situation or to gain clarity. I'm really big on having clarity in love relationships. Don't like complications. It doesn't need to be complicated, ladies. Really, it can be really simple.
It can be, but it never
can
is.
be really simple. Yeah, that's why I'm
No,
here.
I know.
A great line to use if you're in a similar situation and he keeps on asking you out, and you're hanging out together.
Hanging out.
The next time,
down with the kids.
the next time. That he asks you out, you say this. If you want to get clear about what's going on, you ask him this one question: are we hanging out as friends, or are you taking me out on a date? Is this a date?
Yeah.
Bam!
Boom.
There we go. There we go.
Boom.
There we go.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Come on, if a woman's asking you that, he's got to answer you.
Absolutely.
You're going to find out.
I'm the same really. If I get a straight question, I'll give a straight answer.
Yeah.
You know, even if I have to swallow just for 2 seconds while I gather my thoughts, it's a straight question. Personally, I give a straight answer. But I'd like to think that the man should be doing all this too. You know, I just don't really understand this thing, isn't it? How do you know when you're more than friends? Surely it should be obvious.
Well, that's the thing. If it's not, then it's not, then isn't it?
Yeah, we're going. But your original answer to what you said, she didn't listen to you.
Yeah.
When you said, look, regardless, you are just friends.
Yeah.
And it's a sort of a real shortcut to it. But there's no point. I know you.
He knows me.
You've not. It doesn't make any difference how many phone calls she's had for 2 hours in the middle of the night or whatever.
It makes no
difference to you. If something hasn't happened, then as far as you're concerned, and I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think the answer is in the question. If you've been in a scenario like that, how do you know? Well, you do know. You are just friends.
You're just friends.
Otherwise, surely something would have happened. You would have had a sure sign, if not verbally. You'd just pick up on something, wouldn't you?
I mean, it's not. For me, it's not just something. There's a conversation. It's got to be more than just something.
Yeah, how do you not even go there? How do you not have that conversation? But anyway, like we've said, if the conversation hasn't been had for whatever reason, and you're not sure, and you want clarity, one of you's got to bring it up.
Yeah,
Man up, woman up, whatever.
Conversation.
Someone's got to just broach the subject and get it over and done with.
Yeah. And as it turned out, with this particular, with Diane, they were just friends. How do we really find out in the end? Because one day she saw him hand in hand with his girlfriend.
Oh.
So that was
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was definitely the clear message. And then when they spoke afterwards, he says, "Yeah, I've met someone." So it goes back.
So this girl wasn't already in the background, we don't think.
Don't know. What we do know is that he made it very clear that when he wanted a girlfriend,
he went out and got
he went round and got a girlfriend, and it wasn't her. So yeah, protect yourself. You've got to take care of yourself.
The point being, you were right. So straight away, your short answer.
So from a man's point of view, how's a woman going to know?
How's the woman going to know?
Yeah, that a man is interested in her. From a man's point of view.
I would let her know. I would say something. I would, if I really, really was into her, like I say, I'd feel compelled to let her know. I wouldn't be compelled not to. It'd be the complete opposite. I'd
Yeah.
make it very clear
Yeah.
that I was interested. It wouldn't take 6 months.
Yeah.
No chance.
And if you're having a sexual relationship with a guy and it's still not clear,
Friends with
because it-
benefits.
friends with
Down with the kids
benefits.
again. It's the modern way.
it really doesn't mean you're in a relationship, which
No,
moves
it
us on
doesn't.
to our second question is, how do you know that you're in a relationship? Now, as you know, I'm the Phyllis Love Coach. I coach single women how to attract and keep their Mr. Right.
I love this.
And a lot of women come to me and they say, yeah, well, I was in a relationship with Johnny, I was in a relationship with Peter. And I ask them, well, how did you know that you were in a relationship? So how do you know? When does it become a relationship? When he stumps. When I ask them, they always pause like, yeah, actually, how did I know I was in a relationship?
Yeah, again, it's a strange one, this, isn't
Yeah.
it? And we've had conversations about this, and I'm a bit mystified by this, because I mean, it shows that I think I'm out of touch.
Go on.
And when I say I'm out of touch, is there's been a word bandied around a little bit about
Yeah.
this exclusivity.
Exclusivity.
And when this has come up in conversation, and it's like, you know, are we in an exclusive relationship?
What,
I feel like-
women have asked you that?
Well, we've had conversations,
Okay.
haven't we? And it's I've never been in that scenario. That's what I mean.
yeah.
But what I'm interpreting here is that this kind of thing, where a woman's saying, to, "How do I know when I'm in a relationship?" I'm assuming that we're not just talking about what we were talking about a minute ago, like how do you know when it's more than friends, because we've covered that. But we're now talking about somebody who's presumably they're going on dates, they're probably having sex.
Yeah, they assume they're in a relationship.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
but they haven't had the chat.
Yeah, how do you know? Because the reason why I'm saying it is because I've got so many women who come and talk to me, and they've asked the guy, "Where's this going?" You know, they're
Right.
having a sexual relationship, and it could be going on for months and years, and he says, "I'm not ready." In her mind, she
Wow.
thinks, but we're in a relationship because the same reasons. They're hanging out together, they're having a sexual relationship, therefore.
Yeah, so they're in a relationship.
They're in a relationship.
But are they in
A relationship. Yeah, exactly.
You see that fine line there? Can you see it?
There's a fine line. Exactly.
Well,
Exactly.
I suppose in old speak,
I'll speak.
just like me, this would be the difference between dating and a girlfriend.
Ah. Okay.
Now that's just me. I'm just thinking.
Right.
I'm thinking, if you're going out with somebody relatively regularly, you're taking them here, you're taking them there, and you're having sex, indeed, or maybe even not, but you date. You might in your head feel like you're dating, but it's
Right,
not
yeah.
got serious enough in terms of the love connection enough to warrant in your own head converting that to, she's my girlfriend, she's my partner, etc. Maybe that's why, you know, this is sort of this is the way I am interpreting it, and I'm only interpreting it that way because I've been in that situation myself where I've started seeing someone.
Yeah, as in you were dating.
Yes, you know, ask them out a bit, go for a few drinks. This happens, that happens a couple of times. Next thing you know, it's evolved into a sexual relationship as well, and you're spending more time with this person on a relatively regular basis, or even a regular basis.
Yeah.
But in my head, I've thought, even I've thought to myself, what is this?
Right.
Now,
Okay.
bear in mind, you know, you've gone for the meals, you've gone to the cinema, you've gone for drinks, you've had sex, but you're still thinking, what is this? Is this
Yeah.
going to go somewhere? Could this be? Could this lead to something much more serious for the future, forever? But I've not even been sure on my own head because I've not been sure of my feelings.
Ah, okay.
So I've been in that situation. So I get
So,
why.
but yeah. So what did you do? So there must. What was the turning point?
What's the turning point?
Well, in that situation.
Yeah, exactly. I would say. I mean, I think I did have the conversation actually. Yeah.
There you go.
I think I did actually have the
There you
conversation
go.
where, you know, it sort of becomes a little bit. I don't know what the word is. It sort of becomes slightly awkward.
Yeah.
But then you think, you know what? Let's just get this over and done with. It's the same thing we've just been talking about. In the end, I had to man up and actually have the conversation where we do just clarify their position and
There you go.
Yeah, so it's dead simple, isn't it, really? But it's funny, you can avoid it like the plague. And I think people do.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not sure, you're not sure.
Yeah.
So this is why, if you have, I mean, I love that word. You clarify it. You
Yeah.
want clarification.
Yeah, you do. You have to
Yeah.
clarify, and I did in the end. You know, once I got to that point in my head, where I was as sure as I could be that it was more than just this sort of thing ticking over. You know, there was more feelings involved, etc.
Yeah.
Then I did.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah, I did. So I mean, I would do practice what I preach eventually. And I did. I think you've
Never
because
assume.
you could easily get bitten on the backside by some
Never
people, couldn't you?
assume. Oh, well, yeah.
You can imagine. I can imagine one of your clients being like obviously months and months, years even, like you say, down the road, seeing this person 3-4 times a week, probably been on holiday, regular sex, blah 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 blah, and her thinking it's all fine and dandy. And if she did, you can just imagine the bloke going, "Oh well, no, I thought we were just dating." You'd be thinking,
We're
really?
hanging out for 4 years.
There's the thing. Thought.
Yeah. Oh, why? Because no one's talking about it, honestly.
Yeah.
And so.
Do you think the longer you leave these things, the harder it gets? Do you think there's more of a routine builds up, like in terms of what they do, the patterns that they get themselves into?
Because you're going to feel as if you've got more to lose.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, you've got more invested. You've spent more time,
and we don't want to lose things as humans. We value things that we think we're going to lose more. So don't want to rock the boat. I mean, if there's a situation where you're hanging out, you're having intimacy, you're having sex. It's a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and it all feels good and it's nice, and you think, oh, well, I must talk to them tonight about this.
Yeah,
and then it's
but not if you want something more, then it isn't nice.
No.
And if you want a family, do you know when it gets serious?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah. You know, a grown-up relationship's very different to what we've just been talking about.
Yeah.
And you've got to be on the same wavelength, but if you're unsure, with the question was, how do you know when
if
you're in
you're
a relationship? Well, it's the same old thing, isn't it? It's really basic, but in the end, if there is an element of doubt in your mind, well, you're going to have to talk about it, aren't you?
Yeah.
Even if it upsets the apple cart, even if you get the answer you don't want to hear,
Yeah.
it could break it. But, you know, short-term pain for long-term gain, because if it's not going anywhere, and you have to ask this question.
Exactly.
If they can ask it of you, they can ask it of him.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds tough, but...
It's tough love, isn't it? But
tough love, and you've got to be willing to lose the guy.
I've got to be willing to lose,
in order to have your Mr. Right. Because if it's not him, it's not him. And the sooner you find out, as painful as it will be, of course it's going to be painful, that's why you wouldn't want to do it, especially if you feel that he's the one. But the sooner you find out, the better it is for you in the long term, the better that you're going to become more empowered as a woman, for sure. It means that you are valuing yourself as a woman, for sure, which to me is essential.
Do you know something as well? I must add this, and this is just a personal opinion. I think...
Uh-oh, here we go.
Hey, I think...
Yeah.
And I'm just putting this out there, and, you know, if I really knew and really felt that for someone, she wouldn't be asking this question.
Exactly.
You know, I just, you know, if it was really working and you both clicked and you're sort of pretty much in the same place at the same time, because I'm assuming the woman isn't going to ask unless it means
something to her.
So I'm saying it means something to her. Yeah. She cares. She's invested.
Yes.
And if he cares and he's invested relatively equally here, you know, she wouldn't need to ask this question, because I'd make it very clear. Yeah.
Exactly. He's going to make it very, very clear. So if you're as a woman, you're asking the question, there is some element and doubt in your mind that you might not want to admit to openly, even to yourself sometimes.
Yeah.
But I still think on a deep level, you know. Yeah,
I think the more, as we've been talking about this, the gears are turning. I'm thinking, it's another alarm bell, really, isn't it? It's either the guy, he likes you to a point, and he enjoys your company, but perhaps doesn't see it as much more than that.
Yeah.
Because
the for now girl.
Yeah, because you're not feeling it, and I think if you are feeling it, I don't think you can fight your feelings, and I think
no, you can't.
I think it becomes very obvious, and you can't help yourself, and actually you want to know as the guy as well.
Exactly, he's going to want to know
I'd
as well.
I'd want to know.
If he thinks that you're really that special and amazing,
he's
not going to want other men.
No.
No. Exactly.
No, that's not a fine line. That's a big. That's a big lie. That's a trench. Trench warfare, that is. Over the top.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I mean. The more I've thought about that, I thought, well, really, would there be this doubt? No, there wouldn't.
There wouldn't be.
You wouldn't be having to be asked this question. And again, because of that, you're just going to have to face it, aren't you? You're going to have to bring it up, get on with it, find out where are we, what are we, where are we going with this?
Yeah. So always comes back to have an honest conversation. Own up, ladies, how you really feel. Honestly, that's you'll gain. Instead of all the emotional turmoil that you go through and the roller coaster ride, which it is when it comes to love and heart, you'll be able to get into relationships so much easier. You'll be able to know clearly who your Mr. Right is. It'll be crystal clear. There's no confusion.
I think so.
Yeah.
I really do think. I'm not saying it's easy to meet the right person. I don't think we all realise that. And you can trip over somebody in life and it can be amazing, but ordinarily it can be so difficult.
Yeah.
And you can find yourself in these scenarios that you women are in, and probably because the women and maybe not girls, I don't know, they've got these questions because it isn't straightforward. It just hasn't worked out the way that you think, the way you see it in the movies and you read it in the books. But really, it sounds too good to be true. If they're having to ask this question, a lot of the time you wonder whether there is something wrong, don't you?
Yeah, and ask the question.
And you've got to ask them. You've got to just broach it, haven't you? You've got to. For your own sanity.
For your own sake, definitely. Well, thank you for joining us today. It's getting a little bit chilly now.
And I've waffled on a bit.
But it's been great being outside. And so we've still got our drinks to finish. This is my only one. So thanks for joining us and cheers.
Cheers. Ta-ra.
And see you next time again. And bad money, Steve.
Bye-bye.